Do governments around the world really keep secret files about UFOs? Is there a massive cover-up of extraterrestrial life? In this video, we're going to explore why the government keeps UFO files secret. Now let's get into it. The United States has long been known to have an active interest in unidentified flying objects. Since the beginning of the phenomenon in the mid-1940s, the U.S. Air Force and other government agencies have been tracking and analyzing reports of strange flying things spotted across the country. However, despite the seemingly endless number of investigations, reports, and alleged cover-ups, the truth is that the U.S. government has actually made many of these files public. This can be verified by simply visiting the National Archives and Records Administration website, where they have thousands of pages of declassified documents. What if these documents are freely available? Then why exactly does the government keep some UFO files secret? Let's find out. Number 10. To avoid mass panic. It's likely that some of you watching this video right now think that the government already has confirmed evidence that aliens have visited Earth. You probably believe that they've been hiding this knowledge from us for decades, and you're not wrong. There's definitely something going on here, and we'll explore that later on. However, the fact remains that the vast majority of people don't know the truth. For this reason, if the government suddenly released files proving that aliens are real, it would likely cause widespread panic and chaos. Governments worldwide could potentially enter into a state of emergency. People might riot in the streets, and the stock market would collapse. Of course, these are just guesses based on speculation. But it's not hard to see how such a revelation could have a major impact on our society. Even the mere suggestion that there could be extraterrestrial life out there has the power to shake people to their core. Imagine what they would do if faced with irrefutable proof. For this reason, it's likely that the government keeps certain UFO files secret to prevent widespread panic among the general population. Number 9. To protect national security. Another reason that the government may keep certain UFO files secret is to protect national security. If it were revealed that the United States was behind in the development of certain technologies, it could potentially give other countries an advantage over us. For example, if it were proven that we were not alone in the universe, then every country would scramble to figure out how we could defend ourselves against potential alien invaders. Unfortunately, this means that even if we did have evidence that confirmed the existence of extraterrestrial life, we may never know about it until the government deemed it safe to release. In the meantime, however, we can only speculate on what kind of advanced technology aliens may possess. And it's possible that the government is keeping certain UFO files secret in order to protect our national security? No. 8. To avoid economic disruption. In recent years, the UFO community has become increasingly vocal in its demands for transparency from the government. Many people believe that the government is hiding evidence of alien life in order to keep certain groups of people in power. While this may seem like a far-fetched conspiracy theory, it's not entirely without merit. After all, if the government were to confirm the existence of aliens, it would completely change the way that we view our place in the universe. It could potentially lead to a mass exodus from organized religion, as people come to terms with the fact that we may not be as special as we once thought. And it's likely that those in power would do everything they could to prevent this kind of mass upheaval. The sudden confirmation of alien life could cause an unprecedented amount of economic disruption. And it's possible that the government is keeping certain UFO files secret in order to maintain stability. Number 7. To prevent religious upheaval. As we just mentioned, the confirmation of alien life could lead to a mass exodus from organized religion. After all, if there are other intelligent species out there, it would mean that humans are not the only ones who have been created by a higher power. This could potentially lead to a decline in religious belief and practice all over the world. And it's possible that the government is keeping certain UFO files secret in order to prevent this kind of upheaval. Religious leaders have long been opposed to the disclosure of alien life. They fear that it will undermine faith in God and lead to the downfall of civilization as we know it. Whether or not this is actually true is up for debate. But it's clear that certain groups would prefer to remain in the dark rather than face the possibility of a post-alien world. No. 6. To protect ongoing investigations. It's no secret that the government is currently investigating reports of UFOs. In fact, there's an entire department dedicated to the task. However, for obvious reasons, the details of these investigations are kept under wraps. This is likely done in order to protect the integrity of the investigations and to prevent witnesses from being tampered with. If word got out that the government was investigating a particular case, it's likely that certain individuals would try to destroy evidence or even flee the country. This would obviously make it much more difficult to solve the case and could potentially jeopardize the entire investigation. Therefore, it's likely that the government keeps certain UFO files secret in order to protect ongoing investigations. No. 5. To prevent the spread of misinformation. As we've seen, there are a lot of people out there who are eager to believe that aliens are visiting our world. This can create a breeding ground for misinformation and conspiracy theories. If the government were to release unconfirmed or partial information about UFO sightings, it could easily be misinterpreted or taken out of context. This could lead to the spread of false information and ultimately do more harm than good. For this reason, it's likely that the government keeps certain UFO files secret in order to prevent the spread of misinformation. By not releasing any information at all, they eliminate the possibility of it being misinterpreted or used to further conspiracy theories. No. 4. To protect witnesses. Over the years, there have been countless reports of UFOs. However, many of these reports are secondhand or based on what witnesses have seen. This creates a problem for investigators as they can't be sure of the accuracy of these reports. Additionally, witnesses may be ridiculed or even put in danger if their story becomes public knowledge. This is especially true in cases where the witness has seen something truly extraordinary. For this reason, it's likely that the government keeps certain UFO files secret in order to protect the witnesses. By keeping the details of a case under wraps, they eliminate the possibility of witnesses being ridiculed or even harmed. No. 3. To avoid international incident. If the government were to confirm the existence of aliens, it could potentially cause an international incident. This is especially true if the aliens in question are hostile. For example, if we were to discover that there was an alien species out there that was planning on invading Earth, it could cause a panic among the general population. This could lead to the start of World War III and the end of civilization as we know it. Therefore, it's likely that the government keeps certain UFO files secret in order to avoid international incidents. By not releasing information about potential threats from outer space, they reduce the risk of causing a panic or starting a war. No. 2. To prevent mass hysteria. Throughout history, there have been times when mass hysteria has gripped the general population. This can be a dangerous thing, as it can lead to violence, chaos, and destruction. For example, during the Salem witch trials, several innocent people were accused of witchcraft and subsequently executed. Similarly, during the McCarthy era, hundreds of people were accused of being communist sympathizers and had their lives ruined as a result. Therefore, it's likely that the government keeps certain UFO files secret in order to prevent mass hysteria. By not releasing information about potential threats from outer space, they reduce the risk of causing undue alarm or inciting violence. And finally, no. 1. To hide the truth. Now this one might seem far-fetched, but hear me out. What if the government does have evidence that confirms the existence of aliens? In that case, they would have a vested interest in keeping that information secret. Why? Because the truth could potentially lead to mass panic, social unrest, and even the end of civilization as we know it. Think about it. If we were to discover that there was life out there beyond our planet, it would completely change the way that we view our place in the universe. It could potentially lead to the downfall of organized religion and the collapse of society as we know it. Therefore, it's possible that the government is keeping certain UFO files secret in order to hide the truth. By controlling the narrative and keeping the lid on potential revelations, they maintain a sense of normalcy and prevent chaos from ensuing. If you're interested in learning more about UFOs and other paranormal phenomena, make sure to check out more videos. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Till next time, stay curious.